Hello, wild women. Beautiful to spend this time with you today. So I just was going to do a healing for myself, and I thought it seemed like a really big topic. So I decided that I would record it for all of you. It is on inconsistency, and particularly for me, I was focusing on revenue. But once I delved into it a little bit further, I realized that it was actually showing up around inconsistency of being loved and the conditionality of love. And so it was, only earning when you feel good and only getting love when you're being good were the two things that really came through very strongly. And then that creates this sort of cash flow or love or happiness roller coaster, never really knowing where you stand, like never really knowing, am I going to feel good? So am I going to get love? Or is someone in my life in a good mood and therefore I can get love? It's kind of the sense that it's the relationship to someone or something outside of you that lacks consistency. And so that's a relationship with a person, with a place, with a job, with money, whatever. I've really been kind of doing a lot of work recently in different areas and realizing more and more how conditioned we are around love and how intrinsic this need for love really is, but how it's our relationship that then becomes skewed in the outside world. Firstly, because we're not loving ourselves enough and we're relying, therefore, on those external relationships to feed us and nurture us and love us. But also how we then project the dynamic into different relationships. So I realized, okay, well, if I think about money and that I am in relationship to money, now do I have a different perspective about what money is and the dynamic that I have with it? If I think about place and my the landscape that I live in, or my home, or the places that I occupy most frequently, like workplace or whatever, if I was to think about that in relationship, I am in a relationship with this place. Now do I start to consider and think about it very differently? And for me, what it keeps coming back to is this conditionality in relationship that we are in. And if we are able to move to unconditionality, to unconditional receivership, then now we're shifting the dynamic pretty significantly. So if you think about inconsistency, and if you think about only being, only earning love when you feel, when you're being good, or only earning when you feel good, or only receiving love conditionally, and then that then plays out in the rest of our relationships, money, place, people, time. Now we're living conditionally regardless of the symptom, really. What I realized with my my delving in this process is that money, time, relationships, intimacy, career, contribution, they're all symptoms of conditional or unconditional receivership of love. Been doing a lot of diving into Bruce Lipton's work. He started in this, very scientific perspective. Biology of Belief was his first book. His work is really lovely, but what he's come to is love. And the fundamental principle is that he says in his workshops, 80% of people test up that they don't love themselves. And self-love is not having a bath every week and putting the candles on and taking time out. It is, I love myself unconditionally, and I receive that love unconditionally. And that is super, super powerful if you can really anchor that in. And that's what I really want to help you do today. At a cellular level, really adjust that and get into it. So let's do this. Let's do this good. All right. I'm opening the case and we're going to get started and see what's here for us to clear and then reconnect with. Okay, hi Rebel, allow myself to be a pure, clear conduit in connection to all that exists, all organic light source energy, all universal powers, the guardian hosts and crystal star guardians. I now invoke the Christ consciousness within all the wild women listening to this to access pure love and protection. I request for this healing to be in your highest good and confirm access to divine matrix and protection, divine guidance and blessings, upgraded the DNA 12-strand blueprint and beyond, access to healing and protective words of power in the next universe, activation of the Sephirotic healing forces, activation of spontaneous healing forces, organic light and energy portholes. Permissions are granted. The healing to flow through you in this moment in time and forever after. Okay, what is the archetype? So it's the hero. The hero is the champion, the defender, the rescuer. And the two negative life patterns. Grief. And insecurity. It's like it's like this sort of insecurity around the roller coaster, you know, am I going to get it? Am I not? Will it be there? Will it not? If I wake up tomorrow morning, am I going to be in a safe place of love or not? And I want the victim, the hero rescuer dichotomy. It means there is a victim. Because the hero is there, it means that there is a victim. So it's really in this victim consciousness that's coming through, and that there is a whole lot of grief that comes around that. The loss of self within that. It says you've experienced a lot of grief, and this feeling constantly weighs you down with a heavy heart. And insecurity says your life has felt insecure. You seek to control your life so you can feel safe and secure. You avoid taking risks or making big changes in your life. So perhaps you're still playing it safe in your life because it would require that you are out of control. But what unconditional receivership and unconditional love says, it doesn't matter. You are control is an illusion. Be free. Do whatever you like. You know, you cannot be denied. You can do no wrong, right? Like if you have operated in this conditionality around, I have to be good, otherwise I don't get loved. The idea of being bad, whatever that is in your realm, means the withdrawal of love. And that feels terrifying when you're a child, because your family of origin is who you rely on for your security. So then you build a condition and a pattern around never breaching your edges of good, what you've defined as your identity. So any breach of that identity becomes very risky. And so we remain the victim of the circumstance, the victim of our identity, the victim of our patterns. And we grieve that. We grieve the loss of the things we thought we should have. So really feel into this. This is big stuff. This is really big stuff that it is ready to go. So let's really help it go by calling in those feelings so we can feel them to completion. So we can feel them to completion. The negative emotion that's coming up is abandoned. And the opposite of that is supported. And so I want you to hear that you are your greatest support mechanism, and that it was you who abandoned yourself, which means it is you who can support yourself. So this hero, it's like, be your own hero. Don't wait for someone outside. Don't wait for the conditions to be perfect and right. Support yourself. Give yourself the support that it is that you're looking for. Back yourself. Believe in yourself. Know your worth. Love yourself. Stop abandoning yourself and waiting for someone else to love you, but with condition, you know, for money, time, relationships, business, career, contribution, community, waiting for them to love you, to prove, you know, that you have to prove yourself. We're done with it all. We're done with it all. So the negative belief system here is freedom. So it feels like you can never be free because you're on this roller coaster. It's like, just get off the freaking ride. As Bruce Lipton says, get out of the program. We're questing for freedom. We want freedom, but we continue to abandon our true selves, waiting for love to come from outside of us, waiting for other things to be given to us because we believe we're the victim and that we're waiting for the hero to rescue us. And we grieve that. It makes us insecure. And so we grieve this security or control or love. We grieve the loss of it because we're waiting for something outside of us to give it to us. And it simply cannot until we give it to ourselves. And that, my beautiful friends, wild women, is where true freedom comes from. I'm so excited. This is beautiful. All right. When did this commence? Age 5. I'm reckoning school. Age 5, you know, you're into the program big time now. You are out of the family environment and now you have a whole lot of new people, their belief systems, their ways, etc., etc. You've got to sit down. You've got to behave. You've got to put your hand up and ask for permission to speak, to ask to go to the toilet. You have a whole lot of new conditioning coming up at that phase, where prior to that, it's most likely been just your primary family. So it could be very overwhelming, very confusing, very insecure time. And we're looking to our teachers. We're now told the teachers are your hero. The teachers are your, they are your new programmers. Ooh, it's big stuff. Big stuff to be clear from. Okay, so let's do a bit more digging. Soul fear. Denial. Got to remember that we came here for this, by the way. So there's nothing bad or wrong about any of this. We came here for this. This is our lesson. This is our karmic opportunity. But the pattern is what we can surrender to, you know, or surrender. acidity. So it's come up as soul, fear, denial, and acidity. So acidity in our body, that causes inflammation, which can lead to rage and anger, and it becomes a toxic emotion. Acidity in the body will cause all kinds of toxicity. So we're really balancing that out today, bringing more alkaline into our life. No denial anymore when we're facing the truth. And it's come up as the emotional body and the feminine. Which to me centers around being, not doing. It's like babies don't hunt for our love until a certain point where they've been conditioned to that. They just expect it. They expect that people will look after them. They expect it. But parents condition that. And so it's like we came into this world knowing we were pure love. And that divine feminine essence that we had was loved because they were a being. But what our system and our environment coded us with is doing, that you will only be loved or valued or earn or receive when you do, not just for who you are and because you are who you are. And that's false. That's a program. So we're recoding ourselves today with we can be loved by just being. Your being is enough. And it's come up as the link chakra and guilt. So again, the code of guilt at age 5. It's coming through as like a guilt for being you. That you should feel guilty for just being you. You're freaking amazing and magical and smart and intelligent and creative and fun and funny and light. And it's like all the teachers and the parents and the adults are like, you should feel guilty for that, like sit down, behave, do what you're told, be good. Conditioning that comes with school, which makes total sense, by the way, when you're trying to corral 35 5-year-olds. But it recodes us. Guilt is a useless emotion, so we're sending it with love on its way. All right, so you may have a particular story in your mind. I can just literally see my kindergarten classroom and my preschool, yard, and it's like I can just see those spaces and certain things going on where I was magnetic, got lots of attention, was magnetic. But over time that was recoded that was not safe, or you couldn't fit in, it's like, but I'm magnetic and amazing. And no, you're not. That's not safe, I want your little 5-year-old to know that that is the way of being. That is the only way of being. It's like we're oblivious as kids. We just be. Before all the rules, we just be. Let's reclaim that little 5-year-old who just knew she was freaking lovable and amazing, magnetic, got what she wanted, got everything she needed and asked for, was loved unconditionally, loved herself unconditionally. So it's coming up as birth, family, spiritual trauma, physical abuse, and then revenge. So it's that's just some extra information in case you didn't have a story already. So you may have found a particular story, or like me, you might be just finding something general or maybe nothing at all. But there's birth, family was involved. There was a spiritual trauma is where it happened. So some sort of spiritual trauma. Physical abuse was what happened, and the why is revenge. So I'm kind of seeing this forceps, like a trauma around the birthing process. Like physical abuse could even be, where they sometimes they hit babies to get them to breathe again, or to, clear them out. So physical abuse doesn't need to be this massive thing, although it could be. And if that happened, physical abuse of any kind is really traumatic. So I just want to honor and love and send love to that little soul that was traumatized, and that physical and that being, that human being that was also abused. But it don't, if there's something that comes through to you as a visual and it seems only small or minor to you, it wasn't, it isn't. All physical abuse is pattern creating, especially at birth. So we're just really honoring that, really honoring the pattern that it created around the hero and grief and insecurity and feeling abandoned, and that sort of not having freedom, realizing that you just lost your freedom. And that may have come in the spiritual trauma around realizing I am trapped in this body, in this physical form. Maybe I was this entity that had limitless expression, and now I'm trapped in this physical form, and that could be really confronting and could be seen as feeling like you're being abandoned and like your freedom's being stolen, and could feel like abuse. Now there's a physical form that can receive that physical abuse. So how did this happen? Emotions. So it was an emotional emotional impact. So we're going to do a healing on that, and it is a payoff healing. So there is a payoff for this roller coaster, for this only earning when I feel good, only getting love when I feel good, conditionality of receivership. There is a payoff for that. So let's see what it is. The payoff is seeking affection. So instead of giving it to ourselves, we seek it from outside ourselves, and that's the payoff. Yeah. It's like, seems odd, doesn't it? Counterintuitive. It's like by living in this victimhood of waiting for it to be given from outside, is that it gives us the payoff of seeking affection, which feels good when we get it. But it's like we're addicted to that now, instead of being addicted to the feeling of being that all the time and then magnetizing other experiences. That's what we want to do. That's what we're calling in today. Okay, so I rebel. When I say my name, you say yours. I rebel. Choose to safely release the emotional payoff for seeking affection in my DNA related to age 5. Now I'm just going to speak. So relax and accept that all is as it should be. Go to the place of understanding the reasons for your emotional payoff. Send love to yourself and tell yourself that this emotional payoff is no longer necessary. You can now free yourself by changing direction and leaving behind the old negative emotions and payoffs. Remember that you have been conditioned and coded to this. It's what you saw the other people in your life doing, and so you did it. But the good thing is that you do not need to do this anymore. And the need for you to seek affection outside of yourself is lifted from you. And white healing light purifies and washes over your entire body. See and feel this healing energy release the source of the payoff, and for healing to flow through every cell. Connect with the feeling of inner peace and love for yourself. Nice big deep breaths. Move that in. Let your body feel that truth. Let the feeling of healing go into every cell. Connect with the feeling of inner peace and love for yourself. Repeat after me. I rebel. Choose to reconnect with universal source and allow my divine essence to expand and flourish. It is my gift to be and live in my power. Beautiful. Well done. So I'm going to look for these parasitic entity voices. Okay, so it's come up as anti-religious beliefs. So it says the anti-religious voices block church attendance, Bible studies, or pursuing a spiritual path. And so it's the doubt. It's that doubt of telling you there is no God, there is no spirituality. What you're doing is crazy. This is ridiculous. You know, it's the stuff that limits you from really living into this, the truth of the experience that we're all here having. So let's see what they say. 1, 2, 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 12. It says, don't treat yourself with respect. So let's heal that one. Okay, so you're going to repeat this whole statements after me, using your name where I say mine. I rebel, cancel, void, and reject the parasitic demonic entity causing the effect of anti-religious beliefs. I rebel, reject and refuse the lies the parasitic entity voices tell me not to treat myself with respect. I acknowledge the lies and deception of this parasitic entity and reclaim control over my mind, thoughts, sovereignty, birthright, and divinity. I reclaim the truth that I'm a spiritual being and I must treat myself with respect and love. I close all harmful portholes, gateways, grid systems, stargates, and access routes to my energy, and refuse any demonic or parasitic entity access to my mind, body, and soul. I choose to live as a sovereign, powerful, divine being and only accept information and connection from the pure, organic source energy. I choose to live in oneness with humanity from this point forward. I am blessed and I am free. Big deep breaths in. Great work. Okay, so we're going to do another healing. And it is a letting go healing. 5. And it's come up with the need for love. See, if you are love, you have no need for love. So we're going to let go our need for love because we already are it. We already have it. It belongs to us, regardless. So repeat after me. I, Rebel, now request the powers of divine light, divine blessings, divine healings, and divine source to safely release, detach, remove, and disconnect all negative attachments and connections to the need for love. I now choose to free myself, release and let go of all negative cords, attachments, ties, guilt feelings to the need for love relating to age 5 and birth. I choose to be free and empowered in my life choice. It is my gift to be and live in my power. These negative attachments and connections are now dissolved with love and light. You are now free from this point forward. Pardon me. Thank you. Good work, everyone. Okay. That's good. So DNA healing, and we'll close the case. So I now request healing sound frequencies to reconnect and realign you and your DNA, your RNA, chromosomes, wormholes, nucleotides, and hypercommunication. I request the purification and cleansing process of white and gold, pure organic light, dissolve all negative energies and attachments from you, from myself, from this room, from the room you occupy, from the buildings that we're both in, from the surrounding areas, from anything or anyone affected by this healing. I request closure and disabling of harmful portals, gateways, channels, stargates, NAA firewalls, and access routes to other dimensions and realities, controlling, interfering, or siphoning your soul and energy life force. I confirm the etheric, astral, mental, and causal light bodies are cleansed and strengthened, and all Sephirotic healing forces are activated and connected to the organic, pure, white light source for the opening of the crystal rose heart and activation of your diamond sun body. I confirm and invoke the Christ consciousness light and request the guardians and angels pour blessings upon you for all the things you require to obtain soul freedom and sovereignty. I ask they guide and protect you and lead you on a path of empowerment to assist with the evolution of your soul and humanity. I ask that healing may continue throughout this time and that you may always know you are of divine, infinite worth and hold the power and choice for your transformation. You are love. I confirm these requests have taken place and this healing is complete. Still shifting. Take some big, deep breaths. It's a beautiful healing. Mm. Feel that love filling you up, that rising energy of love in every cell of your body. Just enjoy. Mm. Our bodies know how to heal. We're healthy. We're wealthy. We are loved. We are lovable. Mm. I am love. I am love. Say it with me. I am love. 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 Whenever you feel yourself being steered off path, come home to love. I am love. I am love. I am love. Bring your hands to your heart center. Feel that love flow through, opening your heart for unconditional receivership and love. You are worthy, you are deserving, you are enough. When we receive one, we receive all. May you be wild, beautiful woman. May you be wild.